It's your boy Big Cal. It's another edition of Kickin with Big Cal. And today I got a special guest. Today we bringing on Jay Wright. This is my big cousin, good friend of mine. He's been big on this financial industry. He's also a big hip hop head. Today we're gonna come through and drop some knowledge. Give a big shout out and a big welcome to my cousin, my brother, Jay Wright. Jay, man, tell them where they can find you at, dog.
You can find me on Facebook at JKiller3, facebook.com/JKILLAH3. You can find me on Twitter at JWright321, no W, just JAYRIGHT321. Yeah, those are pretty much about the two main things that you can find me on. I really don't do too much social media. I don't have an Instagram or anything like that. But we're still working out here, so that's how we're moving right now.
Yeah, man, you hear it from the man himself. And so today, man, we're gonna keep it real simple and plain. We're gonna be talking about finances. And my boy right here, he's a guru. He's been doing this shit for the last 10, 11 years of just trading penny stocks and all that good stuff. So today we really gonna go into depth about it. And tell him, man, how did you get started in the financial industry in the first place?
Man, it was just watching movies, honestly, bro. I just started watching movies, stuff like Wolf of Wall Street,
yeah, that's a classic,
and things of that nature. And from there, I've always been like a person who's always been like a go-getter, wants self-independence.
Right.
So that was one of the things I started off with early when I was younger.
Yeah.
Like I used to do MLMs and all types of different companies of that nature, just trying to build and get that independence. A lot of them didn't work out, like those multi-level marketing companies and things of that nature. So then I pretty much just turned to things I can do that I can be self-sufficient and do it at my own pace,
right,
which is stocks and trading and things of that nature. So that's really one thing I started focusing on back in my younger days. And then, back then it went from traditional trading to trading options. And options are pretty much just leveraging like 100 times more of the amount that you would normally get. Options are pretty much buying a stock in bulk at 100. Basically, you're buying it at 100 amount as opposed to just buying one amount.
Right.
And that's the difference with regular stocks and options. Now with these things, of course, it's unlimited learning that goes on when it comes to the stock market as it is in the world, because it's so much new things that's developing. You got technology, you got all different types of industries and fields that's creating different, different ways and innovating different things for the world. So
right,
with that, you just have to stay on top of things. But I think if you were able to always, just try to grow and obtain the knowledge that you need to do to get to where you're trying to be at, then everything should work out.
Oh yeah, no doubt, man. No doubt at all, man. Quick question. Now, everybody has a mentor, no matter what field that you're doing. So, who's one of your mentors that either you watch on YouTube or anything of that? Who's somebody you look up to?
With that, I probably have to say, I wouldn't say no more as a mentor. When I first started off, I met this guy on Discord, or wherever like that, and me and him had been talking, and he was basically showing me the ropes back a few years ago about certain different things, the stocks, the terminology, just different things to be aware of as the market grows and continues.
Right.
So from there, I pretty much went on and we was trading together or whatever inside the Discord group and things like that. I brought in a whole lot of different people, which brought in revenue for him.
Oh yeah,
and things of that nature. So then after that, he ended up disappearing. I don't know what happened with him or whatever like that, and I pretty much started running things by myself.
So
after that, I was kind of running the whole Discord or whatever like that, and I was getting people into trading.
Right.
And so I've been teaching people for a couple of years now myself as well. With that, as of right now, I don't teach people too much anymore. I'm focused on a whole lot of different areas and avenues myself. But I am, not opposed to if someone ever wanted to reach out. And,
but for real though, man, like I feel them on that shit, man. The game is meant to be sold and not told, because you'll get off some game and people will never give you the credit that you rightfully are earned. So at the end of the day, you want credit, make sure people pay you for your time.
Thanks.
Real life, man.
Now with that, I did want to get into a few apps that I actually use that can help people who want to start investing, or just start getting into the direction of being
and yeah, for sure.
To grow themselves. All right, so the first app that I'm going to speak about is called Acorns. It's pretty popular. A lot of people have heard about it. They got Ashton Kutcher promoting it, The Rock promoting it, and all different types of celebrities and
I
things.
seen Steve Harvey post something about it on Facebook the other day too.
Yeah. So it's a lot of different people who see the benefits of just having this, this tool. And this is for everybody. You don't have to have a specific amount of money or anything of that nature to make this grow for you. So you can do it at your own pace, and you can monitor it from your phone. So you can keep track of it all the time. Now, the first thing that I want to speak about when it comes to Acorns is that, it invests pretty much your money that you put into it automatically into different types of companies, big caps, small caps, ETFs, things of that nature. And so when it comes to that, that's diversifying your portfolio. So you can continue to grow no matter what the market does, or, no matter how the environment changes over time.
Follow for more
keep
videos.
A steady portfolio as you grow when you move along. Now with that, that's just the individual portfolio and things of that matter. Now when it comes to, they have something called Later. It's a Later. Basically what that is basically like setting up your own IRA accounts, basically.
Right.
And when it comes to that,
yeah,
you answer some questions basically, and then it'll tell you, which one they think that you should pretty much do.
right.
Now, when it comes down to IRA accounts, you also have to be aware of the differences that comes with that. Now, you have some people who have the traditional IRAs, and then you have some people who go with the Roth IRAs.
Right.
Now,
I use it for my job.
yeah, exactly. Now, see, the differences with those is that when it comes to a traditional IRA, the money that you put in there, once you pull it out, if you pull it out early, you're getting a penalty for it.
Big
like
cow,
10%.
you bitch.
Yeah.
You're getting taxed for that. You know what I'm
Shit,
saying?
I know if you wait like a certain amount of time, whatever, like it's like 29% on certain shit.
Those things vary. Now, when it comes to that, also, so let's say you do pull it out at the retirement rate at the time that you're supposed to.
Right.
So with that, what will happen is you'll pull that money out, but you'll have to pay taxes on it because it's not pre-tax dollars.
Yeah.
So all that money that you did after all the savings and everything you did, you have to pay taxes on that money with a traditional IRA.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh shit,
Now,
it's a big cow,
when it
bitch.
comes to a Roth IRA, that's different because a few different differences here is that a Roth IRA, you can actually pull your contributions out of the IRA with no taxes on it or anything like that nature, and you can just grab it, But the catch is that you cannot pull out the gains, the capital gains that was made on that, But if you can, but if you do, you will face a 10% penalty for that.
Oh yeah.
But like I was saying, so to put it into perspective, example-wise, let's say that you have $500, and we're going to do both of these. We'll just do a Roth and make this stuff shorter. So let's say you have a Roth IRA and you have $500 that you contributed into that. Okay. So let's say over time, it grows, you double your money, it's $1,000 now or whatever, and all you put in was $500.
Right.
So what comes from that is, let's say you had a car accident or something, or something happened and one of your cars needed replacing part or something. Exactly. So let's say that the part costs $700. Okay. In that instant of an emergency, if you don't have anything else, you can pull $500 out of your Roth IRA tax-free. And if you need another $200 for to make that to total to $700, you'll only have to pay the tax on the $200 because that's the increase the gains from the initial amount that you made and put in. So with that, basically, so if you had a car bill for $700, you have $1,000 in there, you put in $500, you pull out $700.
Right.
You have to pay 10% on the $200 that's over what you contributed, which is like $20, whatever the case may be, whatever 10% of that is.
Right.
So with that, basically you're leveraging more because you can pull it out with no risk and no penalties. At least the money that you contributed already.
Right.
So for me and myself, I would say that a Roth is easier because you can pull the money out pretty much whenever you need it. But traditional is not bad either. It just, at the end of the day, you have to still pay the taxes on it afterwards when you pull the money out. Completely with no taxes as opposed to Roth. Now, another thing that they do also is they have accounts that they use for custodial accounts, basically. Like you can have an account set up for children, for your kids.
Which is
very beneficial. So with that, you can have also, I did meant to mention also, when it comes to Roth IRAs, you are limited on the contribution amounts that you can put inside the account, which is $6,000 per year. Okay. As opposed to a traditional IRA, you can put in unlimited contributions. So that's another difference with those two as well.
Alright, so what's another app that you are dealing with at the moment?
Well, hold on, I went down with Acorns just yet. Okay. So with that, they do have another feature as well called Spin. You can pretty much, let's see here, you can pretty much put in whatever you want, and then they'll give you a card, and it pretty much looks like this. It's a debit card, and it's heavy as fuck. So that shit out.
Okay, man. Hey.
They got some weight to it. I'll tell you that. And so with that, with the Spin Smarter, every time that you swipe your card, what happens is you're ended up putting that money, your change that's left over, back into the stock market or back into whatever you've been invested in.
Right.
So if you spend, let's say, something costs 50 cents, and you give them $1, 50 cents that you're not using off your debit card, and yet that account will be transferred to the stock market automatically. So that's how that would work in that regard. As I was saying before, also, the last thing would be the custodial accounts, early for kids, which you can use to fund the kids' account, and you can give that to them at pretty much any age that you choose. Over 18, you can do it at 18, you can choose to be at 21. Whatever date that you choose to pick for the kid, that's what you can do, and then they'll have them a nice little something. Hell, maybe kids just graduated, you know what I'm saying? If you were doing that like a few years ahead of time, that'll be extra money in their pocket. You can choose to give it to them at that age if you choose to do so.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Now we're moving on to the next app.
Alright, so what's the next app you got for us today?
The next one here would be Stash. Now, what I like about Stash is that you can actually, this is a lot more diverse than Acorns, because you actually get to choose the stocks that you want to invest in. With Acorns, you don't get to choose. They pretty much just do it for you automatically. Yeah, it's set. It does it for you automatically. But with Stash, you can choose different stocks that you want to put it in. Now, granted, they do have certain programs as well that you can use to help you with along the way. They also have a smart system with rewards and things of that nature. Now, one of the things that I mainly like about Stash is the fact that I can put shit on auto pay. Okay,
for sure.
Because it's a lot of stocks, that I really want to get into. A lot of times I just don't have the time, or I don't be looking at the market. In certain aspects, whatever I'm doing, that else is taking up my time and stuff for trading.
Right.
So with that, you can put things on auto pay. They have different indexes. They have a ton of different indexes in different categories. They have delicious dividends, which is one of my favorites, that basically pays you a dividend back just for holding the stock,
And tell them what a dividend is for the people that don't know.
A dividend is basically when you invest money into a stock and you hold it for a certain period of time, the stock and the company will actually pay you a percentage back. And in the stock realm, they have different types of dividends. They have special dividends to where, they may pay like $2 for every share or whatever the case may be. And there's different tactics to getting dividends, because you can do this with options also. And if you're holding before a certain date, like let's say that, they say May 25th is the date that you have to get this before, you know, we switch it over. So if you have, let's say it's May 24th, and you get that the day before the dividend date, then you will be eligible to get the dividend. You have to have it before that date. Pretty much, you know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much on the extensive dividends. Now another thing about Stash is they also have, you know, they have a card as well, which is another one. You know what I'm saying? You get a card for that.
For sure.
And you can use this money. My absolute most favorite thing about Stash is the goals that you can use. Now basically they have a category where you can put money off to the side and just hold it there. Like let's say it's a goal like you working towards getting a new car or a new house or whatever the case may be. It'll allow you to take that money, and you can do it automatic recurring as well if you choose. And you can just put it in there, leave it in there, and just let it sit. And you'll also have the other money that you're already reinvesting as well on top of that. So this is just money that you can use just to put towards a certain goal and just leave it in there, as opposed to just leaving it in a savings account. This money will be completely locked off, so you don't fuck with it and fuck yourself up.
Yeah, which that shit can happen, especially if you don't know what the fuck you're doing. And that's why I'm glad that a expert like him, man, that can really break it down for us, man. So yeah, continue though, because
yeah. So with Stash, they also have a smart portfolio to where they can, you know, basically invest money for you, and they have retirement accounts as well. As I was stating before, with the Roth and the traditional IRA, so you can use those with Stash as well. But I definitely say it's more diverse than Acorns, but both are still good to have. So that's another thing there. Next topic that I want to talk about, the next app, would be Robinhood. I'm sure everybody pretty much knows about Robinhood. They are okay. You know, they're a decent app for beginners if you're trying to get into trading. You know, one thing I like about Robinhood is that they have instant deposits. So basically, as soon as you deposit your money, you can pretty much use it to trade instantly. Basically.
That's what's up.
And also you can buy fractional shares. You don't even have to buy a whole share these days. You can buy a fraction of a share. Like if you want a piece of Tesla, you can put $2 in the market and get a piece of Tesla, you know?
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's not that easy.
Return ain't gonna be too bad. It ain't gonna be like shit, but you know, the more you put in, the more you get out of it. But
exactly.
You know,
it's all about
market jump. That just it's gonna do what it's gonna do.
Yeah, you know, it's all about how much you put in, you know, and the timing and everything else. So precision matters. Also, the next one that I want to get into here would be Webull. Now, Webull is, to me, one of the best mobile trading apps that there is out there. They got news, they got different indicators that you can use, because Robinhood don't really have charts. But Webull, they have charts that you can use, different indicators and things of that nature, so you can actually get more of a direction to see where the stock may go at. They also provide, you know, data of, you know, who basically owns what companies and things of that nature. So they give you a lot of info with their app, and that's one thing that I really like about it, because it's, you know, it's so diverse with different categories that it has that's optimized on the app. So that's a good thing right there. And but when it comes to, you know, inputting money into Webull, it does take about 5 days with a bank account, so you may have to wait for a little while. I think it may be 3 to 5. Yeah, it kind of varies, but yeah, around that time. So you'll have to wait for your money to kick in too. But they do give you, you know, they give you a deposit, instant deposit as well, good margin. But the thing about it is that you can't use it to trade options. You can only do it for individual shares. So that's one thing. But other than that, though, you know, it's pretty great. Next thing that I want to jump into is pretty much we're going to talk about credit. You know, this is, to me, one of the most important things that people are not aware about, you know, that's very important in life. You know, people growing up, you know, they don't really teach this in schools. You know, you pretty much have to stumble upon it, or, just find out about it from someone who just, may tell you, or be mentoring her, however you find it.
You have to seek the knowledge, man, because if you don't seek the knowledge, like, this the type of game that you got to pay for. Like, that's the reason why when they say when you go to school, paying for education, because you're paying for game. You know what I'm saying? So either you're going to soak up this game or you don't. So it's like, yeah, man, just giving away $1 million worth of game right now. Because of.
All right, so we're not right now. So right now we're going on credit. Now with credit, you need it for a lot of different things. If you want to buy a car, a lot of times off the dealership, you need to check your credit, know where that's at. You want to get a house. Majority of the time, you're going to need, a decent, fair credit score. And there's just a bunch of different things that you can use to leverage this to make more money upon yourself. Real estate is one of the main things that people use it for when it comes to leveraging debt and credit. And there's different opportunities, so much that you can use, and different opportunities out there with real estate as well. Car financing and things of that nature. Even if you want to rent your car, you can use Turo and rent your car, and so there's different things that you can use to help yourself get money at the same time while you're using credit, and build it up at the same time as well, which is one of the main things. One of the apps I recommend for that would be Credit Karma. Of course, I'm sure plenty of people around the world, that's usually the most one that people go to for free.
I currently use it too myself.
So that's a good app right there. And if you are not using that, or if you do have that and you want to see more accurate with your scores, you can go to Experian.com and you can use that as well. For all three, I believe it's a price of like $25 a month or something like that. $29.95, something like that. To check that out. But if it's something that you really want to know, fuck it, why not? App that can help you build your credit, and this is one that I use myself. It's called Self.
Me too.
Self Lender. You know what I'm saying?
I'm on film my loan.
So you can use that. This app is basically something that allows you to build your credit. So let's say you get on a loan for about $500 or something like that. What it would do is you would pay like $25 a month into the account, and then you start building credit, showing that you can pay monthly.
Right.
And then eventually they'll allow you to get your own credit card from that. And then as long as you pay that off monthly as well, however you may use it, then that'll continue to build up your credit, and then these people will be able to see that you can make monthly payments, and they'll be more willing to, give you more cards or whatever it is that you're looking for, depending on, where you're at.
Right.
So, this is something that you can use to, elevate yourself as well, just by taking advantage of this app. Another thing that I did want to touch upon here is how to manage all these things. So you have all these accounts, how are you going to manage them? I mean, of course, you can have apps and scroll through them every day, but as far as looking at the money, an app that I recommend would be Truebill. Now, Truebill is something that can monitor your credit as well. It monitors all your accounts. You can put your financial accounts in it, your personal checking account, a business account, whatever account that you pretty much want to attach to it, you can do that, and it tracks all your expenses from the account. So you can see it has a category, basically, different categories. It has a platform of different categories that shows where your money is going to. If you're spending it on food more a lot of times each month, or whether it be to gas and travel, or recreational, whatever it is, you can see what it is that most of your money is going to. So that way, that's another thing that you can use and keep track of everything else while you'll be utilizing all these accounts and apps and just a plethora of different things to build yourself up at one time. So the last thing that I do want to touch on is crypto. Now, app that I use for crypto is Coinbase Pro, to avoid fees. Pro is a lot more, less gas.
Save you some money, goddamn it.
Exactly. So those would be one of the main things. I say you can use Binance, Kickin, sorry about that, and a bunch of different other Now with that, as far as Coinbase goes, it's easy because you can stake different tokens as well, as long as you have a wallet. Now people use MetaMask wallets and Coinbase wallets. You know, you can choose whatever you want, and you can compound and start making money off of the tokens that you have. So basically, you're just generating money just from having the token itself, in a sense. You know? But yeah, I think that's pretty much all of the apps and things that I want to cover as far as finance. You know, these are very powerful tools that you can use to help yourself build up, you know, anything that you may want to do in the future, you know, and ultimately that's one thing that you have to think about is your future, you know, and it's time to plan is now if you haven't already.
Right, fucking now. You heard him, man.
Time is short, man, so utilize what you got and use the resources you got and build from there. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, really ain't nobody else gonna do it but you. Have to take control and do what you want to do, and you got to take the action to do it. It's pretty much as simple as that. You know what I'm saying?
Word up. Like I said, tell them where they can find you again, cuz of.
At JWright321 on Twitter. Facebook, you can type in Jay Brinson, make it easier, JAYBRINSON, or the / that I said earlier. You know, and yeah, that's pretty much it for that. Like I said, I don't have an Instagram, really. I don't, you know, do too much of that, but you know, people can still contact me either through Facebook or Twitter, so follow me there.
Yeah, man. You can also follow me on Twitter with Kickin the Big TV. And you already know what time it is. It's your boy Big Cal.
Your boy Jay Wright.
Thank you for coming through like always.
Appreciate y'all, man.
Go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It's your boy.